What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Hume 4x4. Today I'm going to be showing you how to change your transmission fluid on your Nissan Navara MB300. Now, I'm not going to be actually doing this to my car, but I'm going to be showing you the exact steps to do it. All right. You'll be able to follow this guide for an older series Navara as well. Make sure you have the correct fluid, which is the most important thing. I'm pretty sure this uses a Matic S fluid, like genuine Matic S, but ATF should be fine. But as I said, go to regotooil.com and put your rego in and you'll be able to find the exact fluid that you need for your D23 Navara. All right, the first step is to locate the correct bolts. All right, so we're under the transmission now. This is obviously the subframe. Now, if you've got a manual, then this video is kind of irrelevant, but there's 3 bolts that you need to do this job. There is a 19mm, there's an Allen key, and a 10mm plug. All right, so the drain for this transmission is right here. So this bolt here is the 19mm drain plug. Now, obviously you got a big fuck off subframe in the way, but you should be able to do this job without taking that bolt off. For the most part, just put like a couple of rags or put like a little cup thing there, drain your oil. Now, you're not going to be able to pull more than 5 liters out because most of the fluid is in the torque converter. I'm not going to dive too deep into that, but if you fully want to clean out your transmission fluid, you need to do a flush or do a flush a couple of times. A flush is basically where you hook it up to the lines on the side and you run the car and pump through new oil. It's a bit advanced, so if you just want to change your fluid, this is the way to do it. Drain that 19mm bolt that I just said before. Okay, and then once it's fully drained out to like a drip, obviously plug that back, use a new washer if you want. And then you want to come up to the side of the transmission here. Okay, so this is the cable. You can see my hand. This is the cable, okay, for your gear shifter. All right, now again, this is kind of hard to film. So you got this gear shifter here, okay? And you have the trans lines here, all right, that go to the front of the car, these ones. Right here where my finger is a 10mm bolt. This 10mm bolt holds in a plug. This is where you fill up your transmission. Now, this isn't how Nissan does it, but this is the way that you're going to be able to do it, all right? I won't dive too deep into how Nissan does it because it's stupid, but yeah, you take this plug off, it's like a little plate, and then you're gonna need a pump of some kind to pump in all your fluid, all right? Now, let's say you pull out 4.5 liters, put another liter on top back into the car. So if I pull out 5 liters, I'm gonna put 6 liters back in. The reason why you wanna do that is so that you actually have overfilled it a little bit and you can do the level process. Okay, so you've drained your oil, you've pulled 5 liters or so out. I think the capacity is 11. All right, so you've pulled out 5 liters. You're going to put 6 liters back into where I've just shown you. You're going to start your car. All right, obviously put the plug back in where I just showed you, that 10mm plug. Put that back in, start your car, go through all of the gears, and then you want to put it in neutral. All right, once you put it in neutral, keep the car running, and this is the important part. We want to get this transmission up to 40 degrees. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do this. There's a couple of ways you can check this transmission if it's 40 degrees. The first way is a scan tool or a cheap OBD2 port. OBD2 scanner or whatever, you know, the Bluetooth ones you can get one of those, very cheap, like 20 bucks off Amazon, but you can connect it to the car and you can read fluid temp of your transmission, and we want to get that to 40 degrees. All right, it might take a while. The next way is just by feeling the transmission, seeing if it's above 30 or 40 degrees. You can kind of feel when it's hot. It's not really a reliable way of doing it, but you can do it that way. Another way is to take it for a little drive. By little, I mean like less than 5 minutes. You know, just around the block really, just to get the transmission hot, and then you can feel the transmission if it is up to temperature or not. Another way is if you have a temperature gun. This is a infrared temperature gun. You can put that on the bell housing and see, or the transmission pan. You can see if it's up to temp 40 degrees. All right. So once you know the car's at 40 degrees, you want to come to this bolt here. Now this is an Allen key. I think it might be like a 6 or a 7 mil Allen key. Okay. Now with the car running, make sure the car's running, make sure it's in neutral, make sure it's up to 40 degree heat. We want to unbolt this. Now this is a level plug, okay? So this will drain out all of the fluid that is that's over level, okay? So drain this bolt, all right? Once you've done that, once the fluid starts to come to a drip, then you plug it back up and you're done, all right? Now, if you unbolt this plug and no fluid comes out, either your transmission is not up to temperature or you didn't put enough fluid in, okay? Those are your two things that might be wrong. So go ahead and redo the whole process again if you don't have any fluid that comes out when you first undo that drain level bolt. But as I said, once it comes to a drip or just before it comes to a drip, plug that bolt back up, go in your car, take it for a drive, go through all the gears, even the manual gears, right? And see how it goes, okay? All right, sweet. So that's going to do it for this video. If you need any other tips or tricks, let me know in the comments down below. I also have a full playlist on how to do stuff on your Navara. So if you want to check that out, it will be on the screen. Without further ado, peace.